my channel. It's Morgan. I honestly felt really bad that I haven't made a video. I feel bad for myself. Like I apologize to me because this is so fun. Like I really enjoy talking about specifically the book that I'm reading right now. I'm about to pull into my school so I can park and talk about this for a second. A Little Life. No, I have not finished the book, but you're gonna be proud of me. I'm halfway through. I am literally on like page 400 something. The book is incredible. It is incredibly incredible. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry right here. Oh my god. Wow. It's what the book does to you, bro. Like I'll be reading a page and the page itself won't even be sad, but I don't know, it's like it's almost so real or so true that it just makes me cry. So I don't want to cry because it took a minute for me to fix my face and my hair, and I don't want to ruin that. But I can't really make promises. Yeah, what's today? Today's Thursday. Where should I park? I want to park somewhere like incognito, but not like unsafe. There's like no one here anyways. Just park here so I can cry my eyes out and no one will see me. In 30 minutes, my best friend will be done with her class and she'll be coming out and she'll come in the car, but I won't film that part. Anyways, I actually brought the book with me because I annotated, if you want to call it that. Okay, let me breathe for a second. The last video that I made, I do remember what page I was on. At the very end of that video, like after the end, oh my god, I can't speak. At the end of the first vlog of A Little Life, I had a little reading montage. And by the end of that reading period, I was on page 170 something. So that was where I was a month ago. Here we are. Okay, I have a lot of tabs and no cards. We'll talk more about that. But I'm currently on page 429. I'm so excited to talk about it. I want to like change this like where I'm sitting at because it feels so weird. I don't really know how to do it. I feel like I should change. I feel like we're too close. Like, I don't know. Maybe I can. I don't know. Oh my god, look at my. This morning I was looking up some eye makeup ideas on Pinterest and I was just skimming through. I typed in eyeshadow makeup with a little bit of yellow. I want a yellow in my makeup because I have a little yellow sunflower. So weird. But anyways, I found one, I followed it. Obviously, you know, it doesn't look exactly like hers, but I think I'm excited and I like it. And then my hair is just like half mine, half extensions, and then I curled it. So yeah. Back to the book. I want to take it a month ago back to where I left off of. So right after that reading session at the very end of the video, I was on page 170 and I had just read the portion regarding Jude and his backstory. His backstory is so interesting and crazy. So back on page 175, we learned about his life growing up in the monastery and the brothers and how he was like almost adopted but it didn't work out. There's some really sad stuff and just how in the monastery growing up, like they used to beat him and he would like pass out and all this crazy shit. And he was just a child, and then I feel like that whole chapter, I just got the sense that he was sexually abused. And then it was like at the end of that chapter, it was so sinister the way they put it. This writer, this fucking author, Hanya, I'm gonna butcher her name, Hanya Yana Jihara. She's perfect. She's amazing. When I finish this book, I'm looking up every other book she's ever written, and I'm definitely reading one of those because this is so gorgeous. Wait, is this her debut novel? I can't remember. I feel like it might have been. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But I really want to find that page because it was so beautiful and so terrible, honestly. Ooh, I found the page. Did I find the page? I didn't. God damn, Morgan. Anyways. Oh, I found the page. Page 175. As an adult, he became obsessed in spells with trying to identify the exact moment in which things had started going so wrong, as if he could freeze, as if he could freeze it, preserve it in a jar, hold it up, and teach it before class. This is when it happened. This is where it started, he'd think. Was it when I stole the crackers? Was it when I ruined Luke's daffodils? Was it when I had my first tantrum? And more impossibly, was it when I did whatever I did that made her leave me behind that drugstore? And what had that been? But really, he would know. It was when he walked into the greenhouse that afternoon. It was when he allowed himself to be escorted in. When he gave up everything to follow Brother Luke. That had been the moment. And after that, it had never been right again. After I read that, I was so confused and hurt, and like I just wanted to know more about that. But of course, after that bit, we switched back to the present time. But yeah, he was sexually abused. That's terrible. We'll get into more than that because I have some tabs that we're gonna get into. Page 185. No, page 186 I tabbed because it was so beautiful and profound. I'm not gonna read the page because this freaking book about one page takes like 2 minutes to read, okay? It's a little much. But I'll read the first sentence. I have never been one of those people, I know you weren't either, who feels that the love one has for a child is somehow a superior one more meaningful, more significant, and grander than any other. So that whole page left me in awe and left me just like, what the fuck did I just read? This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. They were like, this is from the perspective of Harold. Pretty much him saying how he didn't believe that the love one has for a child is one that's, like I just read, more profound. He just believed that it really stemmed from the fear that you gain when you have a child, and that makes you believe that the love you have for it is somehow more, somehow superior than any other love that you have for any other thing. Made you think. It made me think. Obviously, I don't have children, but it made me think, and I literally gave this, I gave the page to my mom. I was like, Mom, read this page. So I made her read it. And I was like, isn't that crazy? She's like, yeah. I made my mom read it, my dad read it, my brother, and my best friend. Because it was just so crazy. And the last part where he's like, but here's what no one says. When it's your child, a part of you, a very tiny, but nonetheless unignorable part of you, also feels relief. Because finally, the moment you have been expecting, been dreading, been preparing yourself for since the day you became a parent has come. Ah, you tell yourself, it's arrived, here it is, and after that, you have nothing to fear again. Okay, what did I get from that? I got from, like, I don't even know, it's so crazy. Like, how I interpret that snippet was, when you have a child, you dread losing that child. And when it happens, you do lose that child. In your mind, you say, ah, it's arrived. And you have nothing to fear again because the child was that one thing in your life that you feared. you had more fear from than anything. And after it's gone, it's almost like a release. Some deep shit, man. This book is way crazy. It's crazy. Oh, it's 5 stars. I don't even have to finish it, okay? I'm gonna, but I don't even have to. It's 5 stars. This is it's 5 stars. It's so great. Okay, next tab. I have like different tabs labeled for like different colors for different reasons. Like blue is more of a character has like said a profound thing that relates back to either the main event of the chapter or something in their life particularly. That's what blue represents. Yellow is just profound in general, just like, wow, what a beautiful, or what a, yeah, just beautiful writing, really. Green is like happy, and I only have one green. Yeah, so green is just like a cool thing, cool moment that I liked. And then the last one is red. I have a lot of red in here. Of course, you know, red for me symbolizes me being angry or upset, sad, pissed off. Yeah, that's what red is. And there's a lot of red later on that we will get to. My next yellow tab. Man, oh my gosh. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. Like in the book, when he starts going to the doctor, Andy, like more often, and then he starts going on walks and his legs get like cuts on them or like open up. I didn't really understand why that was happening to him. I don't even know. I didn't know, but I just kept reading. And then finally, when it was just said that he had several STDs, it made me really sad. It made me really sad. Gosh. It's bad enough he was in some kind of car accident and and his back is hurt and it hurts for him to walk, and now he has these STDs which make it so his skin and his legs, or just in general, I don't know, but his skin is it breaks easily and infects easily. It's just terrible. It's just so terrible. But the idea that Jude got adopted is so beautiful. I love it so much. I love it so much. I think it's the best thing. It's the best thing for Jude. It's the best thing for Harold and Julia. It's great. I love it. But the tab that I have next is yellow. And this tab is page 275, and it's when they're talking about yeah. He sometimes found himself both frustrated and fascinated by Harold's lack of imagination. In Harold's mind, people had parents who were proud of them and saved money only for apartments and vacations, and asked for things when they wanted them. He seemed to be curiously unaware of a universe in which those things might not be givens, in which not everyone shared the same past and future. That was the beginning of that. And pretty much the rest of the page, he's talking about how, like, it's almost like Harold is like unable to realize that some people's lives were screwed. Like he has his optimism is so high. It's like he's like he can't even fathom that. And that's the reason why that's the reason Jude gives for not telling Harold all of his problems and all of the things that are, you know, wrong with him. So many things that he pointed out that I cried just reading this in my head. I was like, oh God, and that? Okay, that too? All right. It was horrible. He loved Harold's innocence, which was made more remarkable considering that what he taught and what he had lost. And so how could he tell Harold that he had to consider wheelchairs, which needed to be replaced every few years, and which insurance didn't wholly cover? How could he tell him that Andy, who didn't take insurance, had never charged him, but might want to someday? And if he did, he certainly wasn't going to pay him. So just all the things that he has to worry about in his life regarding his health. And then we were talking about how could he tell him about the surgery he wanted on his back, the laser burning his carapace of scars down to nothing. I was like, what kind of scars? And then later on, we learned that from the beatings that he had in the monastery, he has like scars all over his back. You know those bad scars that make like rivets and welts? Yeah, those kind of scars. And he wanted some laser surgery to get rid of them, and then later on Andy finds out and he's like, you know, we found studies that it's not healthy, so I'm not going to recommend you get this surgery. I'm really sorry. That was really hard. So that was so beautiful. Now we're gonna, I think I'm happy for Willem. The fact that his career popping off, good for him. That's what happened. Later on, Malcolm ended up getting married. That's great. We're gonna get to JB. Yeah, we're gonna get there. Shit was fucked up. Shit was really fucked up. Oh god, I don't think I can stop myself from crying right now. Okay. Yeah, next thing here. Yikes, Morgan. I'm literally gonna cry right now. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I guess we gotta talk about the JB situation right now, because that's my next sticky note is red, and it's about that. Okay. So we find out JB is a drug addict. Crystal meth. When I read that, I was like, what? Talking about some crystal meth anonymous? Okay, whatever. So he claims he's not addicted, but we'll go with that. So he does crystal meth, and he claims that the reason why he does that is because he had this whole page about how he misses college, and it was just this weird, just so weird. It was like it's not like he doesn't want his friends to be successful, but he just got so used to being the center of attention and the one succeeding, that when it started to turn the opposite way, he couldn't accept that. He couldn't get used to that. It wasn't something that he knew how to react to or anything like that. And then he gave this very beautiful example of I think it was maybe right after college, all four of them took a trip, and JB had gone on vacations a lot as a kid, and when they finally got to their destination point, both Willem and Jude were like in awe of the beautiful scenery and the amazing place they were in. But to JB, who had already been there, it was normal and it wasn't anything special anymore. And it was like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word, but he wishes that he could have their mindset. He even said, he was like, I wish we took less I wish I took less vacations as a child, so that I would enjoy these experiences, that I would truly cherish them, which I thought was very, very real thing. You know, when you get used to something, it's not special anymore. When you see someone who's never had something that you have had, and you see how happy they get and how amazing and curious they are about that thing, it makes you feel very weird, like, wow, this is like so normal to me. But yeah, so that was his whole meth reasoning. So now he does meth, and he meets this guy named Jackson, who becomes his friend. And he does drugs with Jackson, goes to parties with Jackson, sort of distances himself from the rest of his friends. We can fast forward right to the moment where it happened, where they were in I think they were in JB's apartment. Jackson and JB were in his apartment, and at that point Jackson met Jude, and then all of a sudden they're both high. Jackson stands up and he's like, hey, Jude, he's pretty hot, you know, he's pretty cute. And then he just says, if only it wasn't for his, and then he starts doing that shit. He starts imitating him. It's oh gosh. And then, like, while he's imitating him, JB is just on the couch, like he knows it's wrong, and he doesn't like it, but he's so high he can't even care, you know? That broke my heart. It broke my heart a lot, honestly. I don't know if I'll be able to find that exact page, but ugh, this is just so sad, bro. Oh my gosh, everything is just so sad. Hold on, I might be able to find it. I don't know. But yeah, I found it. Okay. It says, he is pretty, your friend, he heard Jackson say at some point late that evening, but too bad about. Then he stood and did an imitation of Jude's walk. A lurching grotesquerie that looked nothing like it. His mouth slack like a cretin's, his hands bobbling in front of him. He had been too high to protest, too high to say anything at all, and so he had just blinked and watched Jackson hobble around the room trying to speak words in Jude's defense, his eyes trickling with tears. Page 311. Terrible. Now, fast forward to when Jude is trying to help JB. You know what I mean? Like, we can see from JB's like point of view, like he doesn't want to hang around Jackson anymore. He wants to be done with it, but he fucking can't. He just can't. I don't even know. He just can't. So all the friends come over, try to get him to the hospital. Come on, I'll help you detox. Blah blah blah. And JB was going with it. Like, I was reading it, I was like, thank you, get him some help. And then all of a sudden his like whole mindset just snapped, and he was like, it was like his brain, he was like saying, they see me as weak, I'm less than, just crazy shit, bro. I don't even know what was going on in his mind. He was just saying stuff of that nature, and then he fucking started to do the imitation. He just got like in front of them or in the middle of them and just started doing exactly what Jackson did. But he started this yelling fit beforehand. He was like, Jew, you can't tell me what to do. You're not even a real friend. You don't even tell us your secrets. We don't know anything about you. You suck as a friend. Just stuff like that. And then he did the imitation, the whole thing that Jackson did, but adding, like, he freaking was like mouthing Jude's name, like he was saying it. He was like, I'm Jude St. Francis. It was terrible. It was terrible. And then of course Willem comes to the rescue, and punches him, knocks him out, wakes up in the hospital, hands are bound. Jude is sleeping in the chair next to him, and JB just starts like whispering, like, forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me. And that was that chapter. Shit. And then it just spirals terribly. I mean, just terribly. Like, obviously by this point we're on page like 300 something, and we already have a grasp of how Jude feels about himself. We understand how he sees himself. Jude does not believe that he's worthy of love. He doesn't believe that he's beautiful. He believes he's ugly, and he's unworthy, and he's worthless, and he's hideous, and no one would ever want to touch him, want to love him. Yeah, he damn. It's just like this terrible thing where he starts talking about how he knows he's ugly. Like, in his head, he's like, I know I'm ugly, and I know I'm worthless, and I know I know that, and I also know that everyone else sees me like that. He's like, I know everyone thinks I'm ugly. I know they think I'm worthless and nothing. I know that. But I believed that I had found friends who didn't feel that way. I believed that I had found people for the first time in my life that actually liked me. And then after JB did that impression, he was like, and I guess fucking not. And I guess that's not how they see me. I guess they do see me as how I see myself. Just kills me, bro. Kills me so much. Wow. Yeah. At that moment, we skip, like, we might even skip a year, maybe two. I don't know how long we've skipped from that point, but they just start talking about how, like, Jude is not friends with JB anymore. Willem cut off communication. Malcolm is the only one who talks to all of them. And the horrible thing was the part where they start talking about everyone was invited to Willem's play, and they were just watching the play, and of course they weren't sitting together, but Jude did see JB, and it was almost like Jude got scared. Like, he looked at JB and looked back real quick, and it was like, oh, it was just, he was talking about how he was afraid that JB was doing the imitation again. He was afraid that he was doing it, you know, in front of him, behind his back. Like, he's afraid to even, like, look at him because he thinks he's continuing to do the imitation. It's just terrible. And it's like, how do you forgive that? Like, when you're Jude and you believe that about yourself, I don't see how you can ever forgive JB ever. Ever. And then we got to another crazy part where they started talking about Jude staying over at Harold and Julia's place, and how he hates full-length mirrors, and he made sure to tell Malcolm, like, hey, when you design my apartment, do not include full-length mirrors. And of course we understand that he doesn't like full-length mirrors because he doesn't like to look at himself, because he believes he is hideous and ugly and a monster. But at Harold and Julia's place, there is a full-length mirror in the bathroom, and he's in the bathroom and he looks in the mirror. Page 334. But here at Harold and Julia's, there is a mirror, and he stands in front of it for a few seconds, contemplating himself, before adopting the hunched pose JB had that night. JB was right, he thinks. He was right. And that is why I can't forgive him. Now he drags his mouth open. Now he hops in a little circle. Now he drags his leg behind him. His moans fill the air in a quiet, still house. Damn, bro. Yeah. So he's pretty much doing the imitation of himself in the mirror, just looking at himself. Almost like affirming, like, yes, he was right. This is me. I'm not really hurt. And that was that section. This book is like very, when you try to, a person who's like read half the book and I'm thinking about things I've already read and things that have happened because of that or after that, it's draining. Like, this book drains you. Okay. Well, next part. Oh my lordy lord, bro. We are almost done talking about the book, because I'm currently talking about we're talking about page 300, like in the middle of 300, and I'm on 400 something, so we're almost there. So the next thing is actually, well, it's a terrible thing. Let's get through it. Okay, Willem goes to film in a different country. 6 months, he's gone. Bye. JB is not JB. Well, JB's not even in the picture anymore. Jude is pretty much alone. Like, he doesn't really have any friends like that. And he goes to a dinner party. Meets this guy. Guy asks him out for dinner. He's like, okay, I guess so. And turns out to like be a date sort of situation that he wasn't aware of. Long story short, end of the night, the guy kisses him and he's like, oh my gosh, what should I do? He invites him up. They have sex. You can tell it's like really bad. Like, he was like, even just throughout the time they were having sex, like that, those multiple times, he was like, okay, let's get this over with, or when is it over? It was just like, I don't think he should be in a relationship until he gets therapy. Like, I don't think you can't live like that. So yeah, turns into his boyfriend, and then it's almost like from the beginning, Jude like can see that his now boyfriend, whose name is Caleb, he can like see how much he hates the combination of Jude's limp, his cane, and Caleb was like, I didn't know you had a limp, or I didn't know you had a cane when I met you. Like, motherfucker, why are you telling me this shit? Am I supposed to apologize to you? The fuck? Oh my god. Oh my gosh, pisses me off so much. And then freaking Caleb's excuse is like, my parents were sick and they succumbed to it and were in wheelchairs and they didn't try hard enough, they didn't fight. What the hell is wrong with you, bro? He's sick in the head. He is sick in the head. He should have left. He should have left after hearing that shit. He should have left. Anyways, before we get into more of the relationship, page 361 I put down as agreed because it was a really cool part. I adore books and TV shows when they incorporate the title of the book or the title of the TV show in dialogue. You know, only once is enough. And one time, just like it solidifies the whole show for me. Like, it really just, like, wow, thank you for doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so let me read this. It says, "I don't know," Caleb said after a silence. "I don't know." He had wanted to vanish then, to close his eyes and reel back time, back to before he had ever met Caleb. He would have turned down Rhodes's invitation. He would have kept living his little life. He would have never known the difference. So obviously when he says he would have kept living his little life, and the title is A Little Life, like, it just, it comes together so well. And honestly, like, from the beginning of the book to page 170, I honestly thought the main character was Willem. But yeah, the main character is Jude. He's the main character, so that was amazing. Love that. One TV show I can think of that did that like really stood out to me was A Game of Thrones. Freaking Cersei was talking to Eddard Stark, and she was like, "It's a Game of Thrones." I was like, oh my god, she said it. Oh my god.
One of them.
Oh, but it was. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground.
So that was like cool. Yeah. Okay. Next, we're going into the terrible parts. The just terrible parts. We're almost 40 minutes in this video. I apologize. I don't know. I have a lot to say, okay? I really should have broke this up more. Welcome back to my channel. I apologize for the way that I look. I have been chilling, sort of like just woke up. Obviously I wasn't able to finish everything that I wanted to say in that last clip, and that last clip was like 2 days ago. So I wanted to just finish my thought and everything that I had read. So yeah, from the last part that I did this clip, that was 2 days ago, and I have read about 30 more pages. So now I'm on page 465, and even just 30 pages, I've read so much information that I want to include in this after I finish what I had already read like last week. So to jump into this, like I said last time, I am like 100% sure that Jude is the main character. You can't tell me otherwise. And then of course, after Willem left to go film for 6 months, I don't even know what country he went to, but when he left, Jude met Caleb and they started dating. Okay, I don't know if I'm not sure if I want to go deep into that relationship or if I want to, do this quick. I'm not really sure how I feel about that because there's a lot to talk about if I do decide to go deep into it. Yeah, okay, maybe I'll go deep. I don't know. We'll try to make this quick. So they meet. Hey, you wanna go out for dinner? Sure. They go out for dinner. It's cool, whatever. And then they're like walking home, I guess. And then Caleb just kisses Jude, and Jude is like, whoa, this doesn't happen. You know what I mean? This is like never happened. And he's like, should I invite him up? What should I do? He ends up inviting him up. They have sex. It's not really, it wasn't really, I don't know. I just don't think Jude should be in a relationship right now with everything that he needs to work on. But anyways, they have sex, they hang out, they're boyfriend and boyfriend now, they're together. And Jude just starts to realize how much Caleb doesn't like him, like how much she despises him, if you want to use that word. And then it starts, oh my gosh, it just says, just terrible. All of it is just so gross and hard to reread and hard to rethink about, honestly. But then, so sad. They start talking about, Caleb starts giving his reason for not liking Jude and the way he walks. And he's like, my parents were sick and they used wheelchairs and walkers and they were weak and they gave in to their weakness. They didn't try. They gave up. I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with you? What kind of fucked up person says that about their parents? So that's his reasoning for not liking Jude and his canes and the way he walks. And then, oh my gosh, when I read this, it hurt my soul. Page 366. The first time Caleb hit him, he was both surprised and not. I was like, oh my god, you letting this motherfucker hit you, bro. You have been fucked up enough. You have been fucked up enough. Now we're adding on to this? It hurt me so much. And I just felt so bad because as soon as I read that sentence, I knew, it even said the first time. So it was already a given that this shit was gonna happen again and again and again. And I was just thinking in my head, the fact that Willem is not here is really bad for him, because Willem is his one person that he tells more things about him, who he trusts the most, he enjoys his company the most. And I just feel like the fact that Willem wasn't even in the country hurt that even more. So yeah, he hit him. So sad. It's so sad. Like, I can't even comprehend what kind of fucked up person does this. Why are you walking like that? Punch. What the fuck? Why do you have your wheelchair? Let me beat the shit out of you. What the fuck is that, bro? It hurts. It hurts to think about it. Yeah, okay. And then the fact that Jude literally, like, talked about standing in front of a mirror and coming up with this fake story. Like, yeah, I started playing tennis. Bless me. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, I started playing tennis and, what did he say? It was like wheelchair tennis. Obviously, he didn't say wheelchair tennis. It was like, I don't even know what they said, but it was something about playing tennis in a wheelchair. And how he got hit, and he won't do it. He won't play it again. Ha ha ha. He practices this fake story in his head with all these details of where he did it, and when, and with whom, like all these fake details. And then he goes to Andy and he tells Andy this fake story. He tells Harold this fake story. Everyone at work, and they believe it, and they keep going. A really sad part is when, like, Andy took him out to dinner. He's like, Jude, are you throwing yourself downstairs? Like, are you throwing yourself against the wall? Like, are you doing this to yourself? And she's like, no, I'm not doing this to myself. I'm just screaming in my head, like, bro, someone else is doing this to you. Like, please say that. It hurts so much. Oh my. This writer is golden. Let me just read this. Page 369. He still can't quite understand why he let Caleb come up that night. If he is to admit it to himself, he feels there was something inevitable, even in a small way, a relief about Caleb's hitting him. All along, he had been waiting for some sort of punishment for his arrogance, for thinking he could have what everyone else has, and here, at last, it was. This is what you get, said the voice inside his head. This is what you get for pretending to be someone you know you're not, for thinking you're as good as other people. That broke me. Yeah, so sad, bro. And then he was like begging Caleb not to hit him again, and he just did it. And then they talk about, like, after he got beat and Caleb left the place, he had to, like, crawl to his car. Oh my god, I just want to, like, hurry through this because it's so sad. Okay. Yeah, I'm crying. My fucking nose is starting to run. Yeah, we can just skip to when um Harold and Jude went out to dinner, and then Caleb just comes out of nowhere. Oh my god, bro! When Caleb came, I was like, holy shit, this has to be a joke. You gotta be kidding me. Like, there's no way he's here, bro. Ain't no way. And then Caleb continues to sit down. It's like, you must be Harold. Like, motherfucker, get the fuck out of here. And then I actually found it. Page 375. He says, let me ask you something, Caleb says to Harold, leaning in as if delivering a confidence, and he stares at Caleb's face, his vulpine handsomeness, his dark, glinting eyes. Be honest. Don't you ever wish you had a normal son? Not a cripple? Oh my god, somebody beat him the fuck up. Oh my god, I just want to beat him up, bro. I want to beat him up. Yeah, so that was that, and then, you know, Caleb leaves, they get in their car, and they're like, and the Harold's like, Jude, did he do that to your face? Like, did he fuck you up? And of course the answer is yes, and then the fact that Harold finally finds out, he drops Harold at home, and then fucking Jude goes back to his apartment, and Caleb's waiting for him. Oh my god. Just when you thought the night couldn't get fucking worse. It had to move locations again. Okay. So Caleb just continues to beat him up, and I think the part that just aged me the most was the very ending when he circles back to the beginning of the chapter. The chapter is called The Axiom of Equality. When he begins to bring up that topic again. The axiom of equality states that x always equals x. It assumes that if you have a conceptual thing named x, it must always be equivalent to itself. And he considers himself x. He is x equals x. Page 386. But now he knows for certain how true the axiom is, because he himself, his very life, has proven it. The person I was will always be the person I am, he realizes. The context may have changed. He may be in this apartment, and he may have a job that he enjoys and that pays him well. And he may have parents and friends he loves. He may be respected in court. He may even be feared. But fundamentally, he is the same person. A person who inspires disgust. A person meant to be hated. God. Okay, and in that microsecond that he finds himself suspended in the air between the ecstasy of being aloft and the anticipation of his landing, which he knows will be terrible, he knows that x will always equal x, no matter what he does or how many years he moves away from the monastery, from Brother Luke, no matter how much he earns or how hard he tries to forget. It is the last thing he thinks as his shoulder cracks down upon the concrete, and the world, for an instant, jerks blessedly away from beneath him. X equals X, he thinks. X equals X. X equals X. I broke down. Honestly broke down. Most depressing shit ever. Okay, like I said, I'm on page 460. 460, what page am I on? 467, I think. Yeah, so what I've read from 2 days ago to now is we got more backstory on Jude. We learned that him and Brother Luke escaped the monastery and you think they're safe. And then Brother Luke is like, oh, we gotta build a cabin. We're gonna live happily ever after. And then he's like, but first, it might be best if you get a job to help me so I can buy the land to build the cabin. He's like, of course, I'll help you, bro. I can cook, I can clean, I can plant. I know all this shit about all this shit. He's like, Jude, I think, how do you even fucking say it, bro? I don't even know. Oh my god, I don't even know. Ugh. Pretty much was talking about sleep with these guys. That's your job. That was the whole point. Yeah, sleep with these guys. That's your job. And that's what he fucking did. And it was really hurtful that he was in the monastery and they were beating him and they were sexually assaulting him. And then he met Brother Luke, and Brother Luke didn't do any of those things to him. He was nice and he was kind, and they ran away, and life was good. In the beginning, it was good. And then Brother Luke got him that job, and he had the, I don't even know what he was doing. I don't think he was like sex. I think it was like, I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but I don't think it was. Let's not talk about it. But it is what it is. Okay, it was bad. So, yeah. And then it was like the days where he didn't have clients. Brother Luke would get in his bed, talk about people who love each other sleep in the same bed with no clothes on. Like, oh my god, the things you can tell a child. Ugh. The things you can tell a child. Yeah, so he started having sex with Brother Luke. And he didn't like it. But he was trapped. He was trapped. Fast forward. I'm on page 466. Currently, Jude attempted to kill himself. I honestly was afraid that he was going to succeed with that shit. Because I was like, he's been through so much shit. The fact that he has no help regarding a therapy situation. The fact that he hasn't opened up and told his complete story to at least one person. He's holding all of that stuff in. You can't do that as a person. You can't live like that. So I definitely felt that he might. And he tried, and it didn't work, but he tried. And if he doesn't talk to someone, he's going to try again. So, yeah. That's where we're at right now. Halfway through. I hope this ends happy. I'm not really sure it will. I'm not really sure. Oh my goodness. But it's a great book. Like I said in my other clip, it's already a 5. It's already 5 stars. Yeah. On my Goodreads, I have like a freaking I wanted to read 30 books this year, but I've only read 15. And honestly, I didn't even start the Goodreads challenge, the reading challenge, until March when the pandemic started. So I technically lost a couple months, but that's whatever. So yeah, I don't think I'll be able to complete that challenge. I hate to speak it into existence, but I don't think I will. I have read a book. I read this book called The Passengers. Hold on. So while I was also read The Passengers. Yeah, so I read this book, and then after I finished this book, I started Little Fires Everywhere. So right now I am on page 70 on Little Fires Everywhere, while I'm also reading A Little Life. I did need to do like a little review on this, so that'll be later, but I'm currently reading this and A Little Life, and that's what's going on right now since you last saw me a month ago. Sorry, it's been a long time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I need to start making some more Instagram pictures about some of the new books that I got. I'll have to think of some ideas of pictures, but I definitely will do that. So check out my Instagram. Subscribe, comment down below what books I should read next. Comment down below what you thought of some of the things that have happened in this book, because it's a lot, and this video is very long, so it's a lot to think about. But I'm gonna leave you here. Enjoy the rest of your day.